welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new, welcome to the family. My name is Dina. I'm so happy to have you here. I'm super excited about today's video because we're gonna be talking about some new things that I've accumulated over the last couple of months. These are just like witchy spiritual type goodies that I've picked up at local spiritual shops, bookshop, a couple things online I think, or one thing online. So I'm really excited to share those with you, so let's get right into it. Alright, so the first thing I want to share with you is a new deck that I got, and it's not like super new in terms of like how long it's been out, but it has been on my wish list for like the longest time ever, and it is the Green Witch Oracle deck. This is a gorgeous deck if you are super witchy, and if you're more into like that green witchcraft, like to work with a lot of herbs in your practice like me, then this is definitely something that you'd probably be interested in. So they're actually organized into 4 different suits, which is really cool. So the first one is the earth element, which is represented by the various vegetables, and then we have the fire element, which is represented by different herbs, and then we have water, which is represented by the fruits, and then air is represented by the flowers. Like most books, this one has various different spreads that you can use and try out. I love the depth that it goes into for each card. Not only does it give you the actual meaning of the card itself, but it also tells you how to actually cultivate that vegetable, fruit, herb. It tells you all the tips and tricks that you need to know how to grow that in your garden if you actually want to do that, which is really cool. It gives you the magical correspondences, and it also gives you a spell that's associated with each one. So I really enjoyed that part of the book. The book just feels so nice. Like it almost has that faux leather feel to it. I don't even know how to explain it. The cards themselves are just absolutely gorgeous. I love the backing of the cards, that really pretty green color, and I love how it has all the different symbols for the elements on the back as well. So I'm just going to give you guys a quick glimpse of what the cards look like here. I'm not going to go through each one, but I have to say that this deck is definitely one on my top favorites, and that's hard to say because I know I have so many decks and I have lots of favorites, but I have been really feeling this deck lately. I've been pulling cards from it quite frequently. I definitely get a lot of really clear messages with it, and it's just a lot of fun to use. And not only can you use it as a deck, but you could actually use it in your witchcraft practice for a lot of different information, basically on like what herbs maybe I should incorporate into a spell. Or you can seek guidance from the book itself about different spell work, because it does give you spell ideas. So I definitely think it's a great companion for the Green Witch, or just witches in general that do like to work with herbs in their practice. So yeah, this is something that I've just been loving lately, and I'm so happy I finally got it. I've actually had my eye on it on Amazon for quite a long time, and then they were out of stock for a while, and then they finally came back in stock and they were on sale, so I'm like, okay, we're getting them now. So the next deck I want to share with you is actually a deck that I would have never thought I'd be attracted to. It's really funny because for the most part I'm very much attracted to like very pretty aesthetic type decks, and decks that are a little bit more light and fluffy and girly, but I've been a little bit more drawn to like the dark stuff lately, like dark tarot and dark oracle decks that are a little bit more, I don't know how to explain it, just like less fluffy. But I went to Indigo recently, and this deck was actually at the very top shelf, and you could barely see it, but my eyes instantly fixated on it. I'm like, what is that? I'm like trying to reach up, and it's this one right here. They are called Conjure Cards by Jake Richards, and these actually have a cool story. So for centuries, people living in Appalachia have used homemade playing cards for divination, fortune telling, and dream interpretation. This unique deck, created by Jake Richards, is fashioned after the folklore, superstitions, and dream symbols that Jake learned as he grew up in eastern Tennessee. Conjure Cards includes 54 cards and a 64-page guidebook on how to interpret them, as well as suggested layouts for divination. So it's really cool. It gives you a little bit more detail about that and like the history of the cards and everything and his background in the book. The box is really cool, like a really solid like wooden box. It's really nice. The only thing I don't like is it doesn't have like a magnet or anything to keep it closed, so you want to make sure things don't fall out, so keep it like straight up. But it's a really solid box, which I really like. When you open up the box, it says Secrets of the Old Time, Mountain Prophets, What Deck Will You Be Dealt? And then the book itself, I love like the color of the book and the cards. I don't know, the paper feels really nice. It's a cool, like, old-fashioned vibe to it. So the book's very straightforward. It just gives you very simple explanations for the cards and the reverse meanings of the cards. And then the cards themselves are really cool, and they give you a really, like, almost like an ancient handmade feel to them. So the backs of the cards look like this. I was super drawn to that. I love the moth. Like, on the cover of the box too, like, I just love this drawing of this moth. So when you look at them, they're just like regular playing cards, basically. Like, you have all the, like, you got the King of Diamonds, you got the Nine of Clubs, the Four of Hearts. So basically, people used regular playing cards for divination, and based on those meanings of how people used them, he made a deck to make it a lot easier to remember those meanings by drawing simple images on them. So he just like doodled these images, so they definitely look like someone, oops, it definitely looks like someone just like took like some pencil crayons and like doodled. And I'm not like being disrespectful to the artist, obviously. Like, I think it's beautiful art and I do love a lot of his images, but I love that feel of it, that homemade kind of ancient feel to the deck. The cards themselves feel really nice. They're not particularly thick, but they're pretty good cardstock, and they shuffle beautifully. Like, they just feel so good in your hand. I don't know why. I'm just like, I love to just shuffle them. Even if I'm not using them, it just feels nice. I have to say, these cards are definitely darker than traditional tarot and stuff. Like, you'll get some meanings and you're like, oh, like, crap, that's not super positive. And like, I feel like tarot like tells you if challenges come in, and it definitely gives it to you straight, but I feel like this deck is almost like a little bit more intense. So if you're someone who likes a really fluffy deck and just like super positive, probably not the deck for you. But if you're someone who's super interested in learning about all different divination techniques, old traditions, and just open to trying a lot of different types of decks, I highly recommend checking these out. They're really cool. Like I said, you can usually get them at Indigo. When I went to Indigo, they only had like 2 there though, but you can order them online as well. So anything that I do have the link for that you can easily get to, I will link below for you guys. Some of the items are kind of like one of a kind, so it's not something I can really link, but I will link what I can for you guys. So yeah, so the next item I got was a book, and I was thinking like maybe I'll just save it for like another book video, but I don't know when I'm gonna do my next book video. I just did one, so I'm like, we'll just share it in this video. So I have been interested in learning about astrology more, because astrology's always confused me and I've had a really hard time understanding it. And I've mostly wanted to learn about astrology to be able to apply that to my tarot practice, because having a knowledge of astrology definitely gives you a whole other layer of understanding when it comes to reading tarot. And that's what I was really hoping for. So when I saw this book, it definitely really caught my attention, because I'm like, this could be exactly what I'm looking for. So it's called Tarot and Astrology, Enhance Your Readings with the Wisdom of the Zodiac by Corinne Kenner. So far so good. It goes into details about each card. They talk about the general like meanings of the cards and stuff, but also incorporate that astrology aspect in a way that's really simple and easy to understand. I also love how the book incorporates various charts for correspondences that are just like really easy to read and understand. I've been slowly making my way through this just to kind of like read it through, but it's definitely going to be one of those books that's just a really good like reference. So whenever I'm doing a reading, I can maybe pull this out and just like take it a step further and understand the astrology aspect of it. So I actually got a journal a few months ago. I was super drawn to this one because of the tree. And as you can tell, it's a handmade leather journal, absolutely beautiful. I used to be like against leather in a way. I've come to be okay with it as long as it's ethically sourced, because if you think about it, especially in Aboriginal culture, when they kill an animal to eat it, they use every aspect of the animal so nothing goes to waste. So it makes sense to make leather out of the animal, because otherwise it's just gonna get thrown out, and that's extremely wasteful and that's not respectful to the animal. And not that I'm consuming a ton of leather and stuff. I don't really own anything leather except for this, I think. But I'm okay with it more so now. And I know like some vegans may come for me and stuff like that, but I think if you're respecting the animal and using everything so you're not wasteful, that's why I really respect the Aboriginal culture personally, just because of how much they respect nature and animals and they don't waste anything. Just a random thought for you guys, just because I know some people are against leather and stuff, but that's kind of my viewpoint on it these days. And I don't think there's anything wrong with eating meat if you're eating it from like an ethically sourced place and the animals are being treated fairly while they're alive. Anyways, that got so off topic, but the reason I got this book specifically was because I wanted a spell book. Now, I've been hemming and hawing for like my entire witchcraft practice so far about whether to make a grimoire or book of shadows, how I want to do it, all that stuff. And when it comes down to it, I just honestly don't think I have time to make a grimoire or book of shadows because it's extremely time consuming. I already like have a hard time balancing my time between YouTube, work, my personal life, all that stuff. So I thought to myself, like, I don't need to write down all these correspondences and everything in a journal. Like, I've got books that I specifically reference for that. I know where to find that on the internet. Like, if I need to find information, I know where to go to. However, I think it would be really nice to have a personal record of all my spells, and at least like my successful spells and rituals that I want to hold on to. And all the spells that I've done and all the spells that I've shared with you guys and stuff are currently just on like random pieces of paper in a box or on notes on my phone, and I want them all in one place. So I thought to myself, maybe instead of doing a book of shadows or a grimoire, I'll just make myself a personal spell book. And it's taken me so long to figure out how I want to organize this. Like, I'm not lying, guys, this has been sitting for months and months in my room, and I'm just like, I don't know how to do it. And because I'm such a perfectionist, I just don't know where to start and I get overwhelmed. But I think I finally figured out how I'm going to organize it. And I'm no amazing artist, but I did make a cute little spells and rituals title page, just a little something for the inside of the book. And then I've separated it into various sections depending on the type of spell or ritual. And because it wasn't going to be completely even, some sections are a little bit larger than others, but that's just purely because I felt like there's probably going to be more spells in that particular category that I would need more space for. So for example, protection spells have a pretty large section, and then I have personal power spells, which also have a pretty large section. I figured for like personal power, I could put things like my self-love spell under there, because I'm not going to just have a like love spell section. Some people might choose to do that. I personally don't need to use any other love spells. I'm not looking to attract anybody else in my life or anything like that. I am in a happy relationship. So personal power could be like self-love spells, confidence spells, courage spells, things like that. It could also be like manifestation spells to help me go for my dreams and manifest my dreams and things like that. So I decided to do personal power because I felt like it would cover like a lot of different things. I also have a smaller section for peace spells, and then I have a section for prosperity spells. So these are like prosperity, luck, money spells, things like that. And then I have a section for creativity spells, and then intuition spells is a section, so things that will help with psychic development or dream work, things like that. And then I have a section for miscellaneous spells in case I ever come up with spells or rituals. And I say spells because it's what my sticky note says. I'm probably gonna say spells and rituals like on the title page or something. I have to figure out what I want to do, but I want each section to have its own title page. So I'll do something similar to like how I did this title page, but each one's going to be specific to that section. So have a little bit of a project to work on, but yeah, miscellaneous spells I thought was important to have just in case there's something I ever create that doesn't fall under, you know, that specific section. And then I have a little section at the back for potions, and I don't really use a lot of potions yet anyways. Like I guess the only potion I've made is my cleansing spray. That's technically a potion, but I haven't really worked a lot with potions, and that's something I definitely want to explore more in my practice and just kind of see how I like it. But I wanted to keep a little section in the back for potions just because if I do come up with some things, I want to be able to keep it in this book as well. But I thought it would be a really cute way to just keep all of my spells and rituals together in a very personalized way and with less pressure to come up with some crazy big extravagant grimoire and Book of Shadows. And I'm not saying you have to do that. Some people do a digital one, some people make a binder, but none of that was really speaking to me, and it was just like not motivating me to do it. And I feel like this is just really like getting me excited. I'm thinking I'll definitely make a video once I've made some progress in this journal to share with you guys and show you what I've done so far. So let me know if you guys are interested in that. I know I personally like to see other people's grimoires and journals and, you know, bullet journals and all that stuff like that. So I think it'll be a fun video to make. Also, let me know in the comments below, like, what do you guys do? Do you guys have a grimoire or a Book of Shadows? Have you wanted to create one? Would you guys be interested in doing something like this where you just create your own spell book? Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. But yeah, I absolutely love this book. It's so pretty, it's so cute, and I'm excited to work with it. So now I just have a few little knick-knacky things to show you guys. One of them is a candle I got recently. I picked this up at a local spiritual shop, and they have these beautiful candles, and they're all made by small businesses, all handmade, everything. So this is a hand-poured soy candle by the company Shy Wolf. I'll try to find the Instagrams or like websites of all the creators and link them down below for you guys. But this one is called High Priestess. There's candles for almost all of the major arcana, if not all of the major arcana, I believe, and some other ones she got recently in this shop too. But this is the only one I have right now. The smell just like spoke to me. It smells so amazing. It just smells so good. It smells like incense, but like it's a nice soft incense, and it's so relaxing. So they're all based on the major arcana card and like the meaning of the card and stuff. So this candle is specifically for intuition, sacred knowledge, and mystery. In this candle we have lavender, sage, and patchouli. It is a beautiful combination, and I'm not exaggerating when I say that this is my favorite candle in the entire world. Like, I've had a lot of candles and I've had a lot of nice candles, but like this is legit my most favorite candle I've ever owned. And when I'm done it, I'm gonna be sad and I'm gonna buy another one because I've been using it so much already. So I got this crystal recently, and normally I'm pretty good and I don't buy like really expensive crystals. I try to keep like my budget like a little bit lower and be like, okay, like don't spend more than like $25 on a crystal, and I may have spent like 50 bucks on this one, but it's so beautiful. So this is actually ruby and zoisite. When I first saw this, I thought it was ruby and fuchsite, so I asked and she's like, no, it's actually ruby and zoisite. They actually look very, very similar. I have fuchsite myself. Like, this is raw fuchsite, so they look very, very similar, and I've seen the combination of ruby and fuchsite online before. So I have seen like crystals like this online, like on Instagram and stuff, that I've literally had my eye on forever, and I've looked into it. But usually they're pretty expensive, and especially with like shipping and stuff, it can get pretty pricey. So when I saw this one crystal, like that, this was the only one sitting in the store, there was nothing like it. Like, this is the only one there. I was like, oh my god. And I was eyeing it and eyeing it, and I was like debating, I'm like, should I get that? Should I just get this little ring? Which I ended up getting both. Spoiler alert, I'm gonna show you the ring too. But like, I got to the cash with just the ring, and I looked behind me and like, the crystal is literally calling my name. It needs to come home with me, and I'm so happy. I don't regret it. Like, it's so hard to find these in person, I find. Like, I've never been to a crystal shop and seen this before. I've only seen them online. So I'm so stoked about it. I love this crystal so much. I hold it all the time. I'm such a weirdo, I know. But if you like crystals, then you understand. So the ring that I actually picked up that day is a quartz ring. The crystal's pretty big for a ring, but like, I really like it. It's funny because I don't usually go for like really big jewelry, but I fell in love with this ring right away, and it was pretty reasonable. It was only like $15, and I just love the way it's wrapped, and I love like that more gold coppery jewelry, and yeah. I just feel like extra and super, like, I don't know, it just makes me so happy. The only finger it fits on really well though is my ring finger, so like when I eventually get like engaged and married, I don't know what I'm gonna do because it kind of fits on my other hand, but like, you know how like your hands are slightly like smaller on one side? Like, it fits, but it's not as comfortable as my left hand. Like, ow, it's harder to get off. And I'm not 100% sure what the creator's name was that made this, because they were just kind of sitting on the plate, like they didn't have a tag or anything like the other things, so I'm not 100% certain, but I also got it from My Moon, so if you guys are in the Ontario area and want to check out the shop. I also have this new necklace that I picked up. I have literally been dying to get one of these because there's so many of them, they're so pretty, and the thing I like about them is each piece is unique. Like, you're not gonna find the same thing twice, so unfortunately you're not gonna find this exact piece most likely, but you'll find so many other other beautiful options. So this is the necklace. I love the color of the chain and the border. I was super drawn to this one just because I really like the purple flower, but I love how there's like a little leaf in there too. It's so pretty. And yeah, every piece is unique. She's got necklaces, she's got earrings. It's by Wild Jewelry. I'll link them below for you guys so you can check out her Instagram. But yeah, I just love the pieces. They're so beautiful. And like I said, every piece is unique. So like the piece that you get, no one else is gonna have that exact piece of jewelry. Everything's gonna be a little bit different. Even if it's a similar flower, every single flower, every leaf is different in some way. Unlike mass-produced jewelry where like things can look basically exactly the same, you go into a small shop and you get something very, very unique. Anyways guys, that's all I wanted to share with you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and just found it fun, because I find these videos are just really lighthearted and fun to do and fun to watch. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you give it a thumbs up to let me know that you did, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button because I put up new videos every single week and I wouldn't want you to miss out on them. I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye guys.